Folks, if you've watched this channel any length of time, you know that we have covered The View and what those crazy ladies over there have said more than a few times, and yet we have never come close to what the hosts are now declaring in terms of how bad it truly is. Disney's The View on ABC says that if you didn't like the Super Bowl halftime, you're evil indeed. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we uncover the crazies, the zanies, and they are in full force over with the ladies of The View. Today, we're aiming our sights on Disney's daytime talk show that is, giving them heartburn, no doubt. And yet, they continue to shower them with all kinds of cash expansions. It might be time for them to re-examine what's going on with ABC's midday show. Folks, show us a little support as we get ready to dive into the unbelievable things they said, likely about you, yes, you, by clicking the like button. Here we go. We've got the video, the audio, everything, and we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. It's out of That Park Place, and yes, I finally dusted off the old feather, the old quill, the little inkwell, and wrote an article. Here it is. Disney's The View on ABC declares that critics of Super Bowl halftime show are motivated by evil. Folks, you might look at that headline and think, oh, come on. No, we're serious. We're serious. We're for cereal, and we're about to play the clip. You'll see it. Let's say that you just don't like rap music, and that's fine. And by the way, people of all races can like or dislike rap music. Let's say that you just thought that it was not as good as The Dancing Sharks by Katy Perry. No, not allowed. Not says The View. And remember, folks, when we say The View, it's Disney's The View on ABC. Can we all agree that hating another person based on the color of their skin or the origins of their ancestry is evil? Almost every person who reads this article or hears this video will no doubt agree with that foundational statement. In fact, I would dare say that the vast majority of Americans reading that original statement would concur. Yet the ladies on Disney's daytime talk show, The View, seem to have no problem declaring that any critic of the Super Bowl halftime show from Sunday night is a person who harbors hatred for others simply for their race. What a terrible thing to say. Worse, the audience at Disney's show joined in with raucous applause. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready? Here is the clip where they're going to say that if you did not like the halftime show, if you in any way did not fall over yourself to say, yes, it was the most glorious halftime show I've ever seen. Kendrick, sorry, but we're not sorry that people can have their opinions. The View, here we go. This is Disney, folks. This is Disney.
Yes. What about you, Anna?
Okay, well, I don't do sports. I don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen, I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because
why are they clapping?
I don't know, because they're awful, evil people. I mean, that's all you can come up with. She just said, why? I don't understand why she would say this.
Because she said Donald Trump, so they either have to go, oh, or ooh, one of the two. That's their mandate.
You know what, Tom? You're onto something. The sign showed up. It said applause, and they went,
the first two things that come to mind on this are Michael Jackson and Prince, two of the most amazing Super Bowl halftime.
The Blues Brothers halftime show was better than this stuff.
Yes.
Look, I don't know who this Kendrick guy is, but this is the thing you got a problem with. You can't have somebody up there doing a diss track about somebody you know from somebody you don't, because it just doesn't matter. At that point, it's like, who's this guy?
I'm not familiar with Kendrick Lamar, but it just seemed like rap. And
look, the Super Bowl is the time. It's not about the rap part. It could have been the Beastie Boys. It could have been Run DMC. It could have been Dr. Dre. It could have been Eminem. It could have been anybody. Point is, guess what's different between those names I just said?
You've heard of them?
The Kendrick. Exactly. The Super Bowl is a time when you bring in a cross-generational artist. Why? Because you've got people from the age of 2 to 202 watching. And Grandpa isn't going to sit there and listen to Kendrick because he doesn't know who the hell that is.
But Tom, here's what The View has to say about you.
I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because you remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term end racism from the end zone.
Yeah.
Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump. When I saw Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a black Uncle Sam.
Let me just clarify. They apparently think that the existence of people of different racial backgrounds is just that in itself is political. Like the existence, and it blows my mind too. I mean, I don't know if they actually believe it or if they just present as if they believe it, but they want you to think that if you are black, you are of a different political view than Trump, and Trump is your enemy. Now that flies in the face of what we know from this last election, but that's what they want you to believe. So merely that Samuel L. Jackson exists and merely that he dons an Uncle Sam costume and is there, that's anti-Trump, because just existing as a black person is anti-Trump. That's the view. That's what they think. It is imbecilic. It is infantile. It's what they believe, and they're Disney.
Do people actually have a problem with Samuel L.
What about you,
Jackson
Anna?
as Uncle Sam? Unless he's out there like cursing in the middle of a halftime show, I think that's actually pretty cool.
Jonas, you remember how all Republicans hated Apollo Creed in the first Rocky movie, right?
Exactly. If there's any, and I know you're being sarcastic. If there's any character that Republicans hate, it's Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed and Rocky joining forces together in Rocky 3 was one of the greatest things ever. And they listen. We've already fought these battles. These battles have been won, and they were won decades and decades ago. They wish to return us to division, and it's all they can see in their vision board. Again, Disney pays for the view. Let's play the rest of it, then we'll get the full panel's thoughts, and it's going to get worse. Here we go.
Uncle Sam introducing Kendrick Lamar, who then had like an entire formation of all black people making a U.S. flag. Listen, this much I know. All the black people on my feed were like, ooh, this is blackity black. And all the racists who somehow get in, man, were they hopping mad. So if the racists are mad, I am happy as a clam.
Nothing about it was any good, though. See, notice that's why she likes it. She likes it because she perceives racists as hating it instead of actually liking it on its merits.
So, Tom, think about it this way. Let's say that you're a 12-year-old boy. 12-year-old boy says, I like the Sharks with Katy Perry better back when I was little. You're a racist now, according to Disney's The View from Anna Navarro. This is nuts. And why? Here's what I want to ask, panel. And Jonas, you get first stab at this one. I think it's time for them to, they're expanding The View. They just gave them weekends. And I'm looking at it and saying, what? Get it off the air. Like, take it off. It's awful. It promotes villainous thoughts.
Here's the thing about every single Super Bowl performance. 50% of every single Super Bowl performance, somebody goes, why was that person even allowed on the stage? It doesn't matter if it was the biggest act in the world.
Except for Prince and Michael Jackson.
Right, which were amazing.
Even God was watching the day Prince was playing, because like all of a sudden he's like, purple rain's coming, make it start raining.
Well, yeah, the quote from somebody who watched that with me was, if Jesus was a guitar player, then Prince is the Apostle Paul. Like, my goodness, that guy was amazing. May he rest in peace. When we look at things like this lady, and Tom said it perfectly, it doesn't matter the quality of the product. They want a political statement on it. When Disney airs episodes of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, they specifically say that anything about black culture is political. No, it is a culture. It is not political. The political is political. It is classic Marxism to turn things that are not political into being political, so that you can say that people who don't have a taste for something are trying to oppress you. I don't know if I'm making perfect sense on this point here, but someone showing up to work and doing a good job is not a political statement. Someone showing up to the Super Bowl and singing a song that is not offensive in and of itself is not a political statement. Trying to say that if you don't like this particular piece of music for quality reasons is not a political statement. But these people want everything to be political so they can shout other people down and push them out of society. She's trying to make it into, well, the racists were mad, therefore the Republicans were mad, or the conservatives were mad.
Right.
It's outdated, it's outmoded, and I'll be frank, it hacks me off.
Yeah, it's one and the same. And again, Disney sponsors, supports, produces everything. This is the Disney show. This is Disney's daytime weekday show. Erica, I've got a theory about this though, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. My theory is the reason they're doing this, which is insane, to suggest that anybody who didn't like the halftime show or had a critique of it is evil, right? That's what The View is saying. I think the reason they're spending their airtime on that is because they didn't want to spend time talking about how loudly El Trumpo, President Orange Man Bad, was cheered at the Super Bowl, and they definitely don't want to talk about Taylor Swift being booed because it collapses their narrative. What say you, Erica?
Well, you got ahead of me on my comment about that.
Oh no, we're in sync wavelengths. Remember? Go ahead.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Is and it's a reflection of themselves, not any of us. Whether we liked the halftime show or not. I'm not personally into rap. I didn't even watch the game. I've been plugged out for years because the halftime shows have gotten just stupid and ridiculous. And nothing's ever going to top Super Bowl 25, in Tampa when it was New Kids on the Block and I was a little girl.
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. No, sorry.
Back when Disney was Disney, and Disney came in and helped out with the show too. But anyway, I don't know. At what point are they going to stop this? This pandering at every turn. It's racist this and racist that. Aren't people tired of it? And why are people still tuning in? If that's all they're hearing, is that what people like to hear that tune into their show? I'm tired of it personally. Just shut up and talk about something else.
It's a great point, Erica. And I think
it is confirmation bias. Yeah.
Yeah, it's confirmation bias hour, and we've been watching as the ratings have been dropping for The View, but Disney seems to be absolutely dedicated to keeping the show on the air. Now, the fascinating thing, of course, is that at the same time, Disney's saying that, well, not Disney, but it's being declared that Disney is dropping DEI. This stuff puts out some of the most divisive, what would you say, the most divisive, distracting, and I would say villainous kind of commentary you'll find anywhere on air. I'm sorry, I'm not buying this stuff about Disney is coming to a realization, to an epiphany, so long as they've got this on TV every single day. Ron, Marvin, am I wrong about it?
Yeah, well, so I think that I've often found that the people that are trying to say that they're fighting against racism are the ones that are always spreading the racism themselves. I'm pretty sure the majority of people probably watched that halftime show and didn't even think, oh, that's just all black people. Like I think most people just watched it and were like, okay, a musician is performing and they're doing a performance. It's like it's like when a little girl, let's say a little like white girl wants to be Moana for Halloween and her parents, buy her the costume and she goes out and somebody freaks out. That little girl is not thinking of it as I want to appropriate Polynesian culture. She's thinking of it as this is a character who has, personality traits that I identify with. This is a hero that I look up to. And by freaking out and making a big deal over it, you implant in that child's head that there's a difference between people, that there is that racial divide. These people create the divide every single day.
And they commercialize the divide, right?
Yep.
This is commercialized racism that they're trying to promote.
Yeah, exactly what he's saying is like as if a little black boy said, I want to be Superman, and somebody said, you can't be Superman, you're black. Instead of you can't be Superman, you can't fly, or something like that. It's like they automatically jump to that. It's like, who says those kind of things to a child? Right? It's
nobody.
No, except for these idiots. Yeah. Except for these, you're right. Because some kid who was dressed as Superman who happens to be black would roll up to some Karen's house, and she would have a fit to that kid's parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, it'd be the other way around. It would be some white kid dressed as Black Panther, of course, because that's not okay. The other one would be, but yeah.
Right, or a little white girl dressed as Moana.
Yeah, exactly. As you brought up the point. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's just, and of course they jump to my whole point was they jump to the race thing automatically. It's not anything else.
Look, for me, this feels like projectionism. Like most of the world really doesn't care. Like Jonas said, we got past this, or Pro, I don't remember which one of you guys said it. We got past this decades ago, for real. And they're bringing it back up. They're being divisive. Why? Because they're projecting how they feel. They're the ones who are consumed with race. And I don't really know why, unless they internally have this purpose to divide. Like, why would you want to divide the culture? Are they trying to be divisive now that Trump is in office? I don't really think so, because they kind of did it. They still did it when Biden was in office. They're always being divisive. It's the media, the dinosaur media, the lamestream media, whatever you want to call them. They just seem to want to divide us. And I think that we have a president now who actually can bring us together more than any president in the last, I don't know, several decades, except for himself. And it's only the media, this not us, but like this dinosaur media that's purposefully being divisive, and we don't need it anymore. You would think that the media would either just simply be unbiased or want to help to bring people together. Maybe it creates ratings. I don't know what it does for their show, but it's ridiculous. I didn't even see the halftime show. I've seen the chatter about it. I was out like a light. I was Sunday afternoon. I came home and I crashed after MegaCon, and I mean, like, I was out, so I didn't really see the Super Bowl. I know that it was on, but all of this chatter about the halftime show, I've seen some criticisms that it was good, some bad. I didn't see it. I don't really care. It's not a big deal to me. It is the last bastion, it seems, of cultural things that people actually do gather around their televisions for.
That is a good point, because there are people who are not interested at all in football that will watch the Super Bowl. It's something that they will never give up on. That's a very good point. Those cultural touchstones, because movies aren't even cultural touchstones anymore.
No. It's the wings, baby. It's the wings. Go on, Ron.
Yeah. No, to button it up, I just think this kind of thing is ridiculous, and I wish that they would understand. Maybe they do understand exactly what they're doing, but people. That comment from Ana Navarro, the comment itself was racist. She was being racist, however you pronounce it. Because I don't know. I know you don't like the word, but yes, she was being that way with that comment. Not any of us, but her. Like, stop projecting what you feel onto the rest of society, because we don't care.
Right. And these ladies have been reprehensible in many ways. Of course, Whoopi Goldberg may have inappropriately maligned a small business owner. That didn't go well. Sunny Hostin is in hot water because her husband is the focus of an investigation, a RICO investigation. That's a big deal regarding insurance fraud. She's commented on it on The View. We can go on and on. These ladies don't speak from a pedestal, but rather they come to you and they just say awful, awful things. It was a back-to-back there with Navarro where she comes out and says that Trump is going to ban people from the Super Bowl halftime show based on their race. I don't care if it's in jest or not. It's indigestible in terms of content that should be on network TV. And then to follow that up with, if you had any criticism of the Super Bowl halftime show, then you are racist. Folks, we're here to tell you to bottom line this out. If you are a person of African ancestry and you like rap, cool. If you don't like rap, cool. If you're a person of European ancestry and you like rap, cool. If you don't, cool. You're welcome here. We love all peoples, everybody. Doesn't matter. Man, woman, doesn't matter where you come from. You're welcome here, and we love your views and voices, and we care about it. If, however, you think that criticisms of entertainment automatically put you into a tribalistic category of racist or non-racist, well, The View's coming on anytime now. Go enjoy it. Put this baby to bed. This video is over. Turn off the lights, but not quite yet, folks, because we do ask one final thing before we say goodbye, and that is, would you consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, Click it and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Also greatly appreciated, anytime you would like to share this out on your favorite social media platforms, well, we would love that. And we'd also love to hear your thoughts. Folks, drop a comment down below and use that beautiful mind of yours. If you would not mind, we'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, it's as simple as clicking the join button. It is the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of new, cool, exclusive information. Folks, until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.